Yeah, what's happening? It's the big boss, Ricky Ross. And right now I gotta salute my brother, none other than Jeff Fox. Ricky Ross, M.I.A.O. We paying homage to a real nigga, DJ Jeff Fox, forever.
The Jeff Fox Radio Show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Jeff Fox Show. Very abbreviated version of the Jeff Fox Show. And when I mean very abbreviated, I mean very, very short version of the show today. What's popping, everybody out there in the social media land, however you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is. Welcome back to the Jeff Fox Show. My esteemed producer, Randy Savage, is in the house. What up, Randy Savage?
What did you do, man? We haven't done one of these in a while. We haven't done one since Snowfall.
Yeah, we've been slipping, but we're working on something really big, and you know what we're working on.
Of course.
So, I've been tied up in the DJ game, doing a lot of that, But it is what it is. So what's been up, man? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. A lot of good stuff been happening. I've been dabbling around with the stock market for a little bit. I made a little bit of money with my AMC picks.
With your crypto and all that? You doing all that crypto stuff?
I did it for a little bit, and then I stopped. I stopped when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live, and I sold all my crypto quickly after that.
Right.
I'm doing good with stocks. I got a couple jobs. I'm no longer subbing right now because school's out. Hallelujah.
Right. Yeah, listen, I partied with the school teachers at the round table last night. Those motherfuckers, they know how to party.
Oh, yeah.
And listen to new stuff. They requested Lil Baby and Lil Durk and Lil whoever else is out there. Like, I'm used to school teachers who just want to do the electric slide. They wanted to hear the City Girls.
It's so crazy because they're so young right now. The school I taught at, I called one of the teachers older, and she's like, no, she's 33. And I was like, damn, I'm 32.
It's time for the percolate. It's time for the percolate. And they want to do all that. I was like, oh, okay, y'all in. But let's jump into a couple of quick subjects right here on the show. The first thing I wanted to get into is your boy Scottie Pippen. Yeah. It seems that Scottie Pippen is coming out with a book, a tell-all book about the Chicago Bulls championship years. And Scottie Pippen was none too pleased with the Last Dance documentary. He probably made him look really bad. He said, y'all don't know the truth. And apparently we don't know the truth. So his tell-all book is basically throwing the book, no pun intended, at former teammate Michael Jordan. And he's releasing the book in November, I do believe. And it is called November 16th. The name of the book is Unguarded, The Actual Truth about the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and how important Scottie Pippen felt he was the straw that stirred the proverbial drink. He was the man behind the Chicago Bulls dynasty, not Michael Jordan. You guys don't know the truth. That's what Scottie wants you to know. How do you feel about this, sir? Is Scottie Pippen kind of losing it a little bit?
Look, Scottie's been losing it since, Larson's been in the streets. All right. I mean, out here is dressing a little bit young for what he is right now. And it's a little bit crazy. I mean, look, even he's gone on ESPN and he's like, said LeBron was better than Jordan in certain cases. So, I
mean, Scottie did look kind of soft in the Last Dance. He looked like he wasn't measuring up, and it did make him look. But all that stuff that we saw in the Last Dance are facts. But Scottie's saying that we don't really know what he knows.
Well,
now he's going to tell all about Michael Jordan.
On top of that, too, you saw what happened with Scottie. Scottie's from the hood of Arkansas. And being from the hood of Arkansas, he got that terrible contract, and he was with it for years.
Bad.
And he was like, I see why he was the way he was in The Last Dance, because he knew he was going to have a payday soon.
Right.
So, I mean, why not mess up your free agency? And
let's take a look at an iconic moment in the history of the Chicago Bulls when Scottie Pippen literally held up Michael Jordan.
And the game is tied. 10 on the shot clock. Pippen backing Hornacek. There's Jordan from yes. Michael Jordan from straight away.
Double team Scottie down low and leaving Michael Jordan. He knocks down this three, gives him the huge lead, and then the total exhaustion on the bench. Michael Jordan sucking air, got the back massage from Scottie Pippen.
Now, did you see the way that Pippen attracted the double team down low, to give Michael a wide open shot? I mean, that was important.
He was lifting
the double team. And then the way he held Jordan up at the very end, because Jordan had the flu, and he needed somebody to hold him. And Scottie was there, like a real teammate, held him up and took him to the sideline. I mean, hey, that's how you win championships.
That is true.
I mean, I'm kind of making light of the situation, but I'm curious. I really am curious. I'm going to read the book. I'm going to, I want to know. I want to know what Scottie knows, and maybe he has a right to feel slighted in light of The Last Dance. I'm understanding that Michael Jordan, the winner that he wasn't exactly a lovable teammate. And Jordan is worth like $1 zillion.
POS, man.
Yeah. And I'm hearing from people that's met Michael Jordan that, kind of very, I don't know, Barry Bonds like. I don't know. I've never met Michael Jordan. I've never met him. I don't care if I meet him or not. I'm not the biggest Jordan fan. I love watching him play. I think he's a great player. But maybe Scottie Pippen has maybe he has a point to all of this. I don't know. I'm curious to look at the book.
Look at it this way. Before Scottie got there, Jordan didn't have any championships. When him and Scottie weren't together, they didn't have any championships either. So Jordan championships weren't there unless he had Scottie with him. Case in point.
Yeah. I mean, does Pippen have a point? Does he, I think he's got a gripe. I think he was important, but I just think also that he was named one of the 50 greatest players of all time. He's been given his credit, but does Jordan get too much credit? Does Scottie not get enough credit?
Jordan was great, man. Jordan was, especially if you looked at them scores, them 85 to 89 or 90.
Yeah, but he didn't win shit when he was doing it by himself.
And still averaging like
ass kicked by the Pistons every year.
Yeah.
All right. It wasn't until Scottie got there, they took a couple of ass whoopings real quick, and then they started dishing it out, and nobody ever beat him.
They didn't start winning until he became a passer. So he started to distribute the ball a little bit more.
So I don't know. If you're watching this video, I'd like to hear your comments on how do you feel Scottie Pippen is recognized as Jordan's teammate. Does he deserve more credit for the Bulls dynasty or not? Or does he get enough credit? Scottie says, there's a lot of shit y'all don't know. It's a lot of shit y'all don't know. And everybody's slurping all over Jordan,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff y'all don't know. Let's see when the book comes out. I'm very, very curious, Randy Savage. Very curious.
Look, there was a 10 episode documentary on the 90s Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much more Jordan centric, and then, like they said earlier, it was the greatest shoe commercial of all time.
Right.
So they talked about Scottie. They talked about him as a Robin or as a softie or being selfish. So I would like to.
Nothing wrong with being Robin. Nothing wrong with being Robin.
I want to see what Scottie says, but like I said, we need to work on his personal, man, because Larsa out here wilding.
Yeah, that's another topic for another day. Larsa is wilding though, but I think Scottie wants money. I think this book is going to be great for him. He's going to make a ton of money doing it. Not nearly as marketable as Michael Jordan has been, as we know nobody is, and maybe Scottie's a bit envious of all of that. I don't know. We'll see when the book comes out. Once again, November 16th, the book entitled Unguarded, the Scottie Pippen story. Looking forward to that. Other things, Randy Savage, that are in the news. It looks like we got some beef between ESPN analyst Jay Williams and net star Kevin Durant. And it all stems from a story that Williams told about Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo or whatever it is.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go to the clip.
A couple years ago, we're at a holiday party, and I came on this show, and I did a segment with you, and I said we had Anthony Davis and we had Kevin Durant. Yeah. I said, what, Anthony Davis and KD would have a baby. The similarities, physicality-wise, would be like Giannis. Yeah. Right? I go to the holiday party. Kevin Durant comes up to me and says, yo, don't you ever compare me to Giannis. Don't you ever compare me to Giannis. I said, KD, what are you talking about? I was just talking about similarities, physicality-wise, size, length. He's like, no, don't you ever compare me to Giannis. So when I see that matchup, you know what that matchup says to me? That's something personal for Kevin Durant. That's who he's attacking each and every day, because that's been in his brain, because people have talked about Giannis being on the same level. That's the kind of intensity you're seeing in this rivalry.
Well, Kevin Durant responded on Twitter and said, mans will do anything to advance their careers in this media shit, wanting to be accepted by an industry that will dispose of you whenever they please. Keep me out all that corny ass talk about who's better and legacy and all that dumb ass shit. I don't even talk like that.
I love it. I'm a KD fan, bro. I'm a KD fan for more how he is outside of the court than he is on the court. Like on the court, he's amazing.
Right.
On the court, he just reminds me like of a homeboy that I just know that like we just talking smack.
Right.
Like he talks smack. He looks on Twitter. He laughs at stuff. He listens to the same music I do. He's definitely homeboy. Like, he doesn't put himself above everybody else. And plus, legacy don't pay the bills, man. Legacy don't feed family.
Yeah. I get it. I think he's too sensitive. I think he doesn't need to respond to every little single thing somebody says about him. And maybe he's concerned about his relationship with Giannis. But he basically came out and said Jay Williams is a fucking liar. He basically said that. And I don't know who I believe in this instance. I think Jay Williams might be telling the truth, but I'm not sure. I can tell you as a journalist, I can tell you as a sports broadcaster, that I've been told something by a very prominent NBA broadcaster that I will not name because I value that relationship. And before I come out and say anything about the said stories that I was told, I would call that person and ask them, is it okay if I repeat what you told me at the AAA when we sat in the media room during I think it was a New York Knicks game, and you told me all of this very interesting stuff about the greatest basketball player of all time? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go all Jay Williams and drop all this exclusive stuff, even if you paid me $1 million. I'm not telling.
Or just like he's a personal friend of mine, and I know him personally.
Yeah. And so in that aspect, Jay Williams, I think, probably should have called KD and said, look, because I think he knew going into the studio he was going to say that, and he probably should have said, look, KD, I want to drop a little nugget on the show this morning. Is that cool? That's all you got to do.
I mean, look what Shannon Sharp did, with Julio Jones.
Right.
He called Julio in the middle of Undisputed. to confirm that Julio didn't want to be in Atlanta anymore.
Yeah.
That easily to further his career.
Yeah. And that's what Kevin Durant is saying. Kevin Durant has always had a sour relationship with the media. He really hates us media guys. And but I just think he's had the burner accounts. It's legendary, the stuff he's done and what he's talked about. So who's wrong in this instance? KD wrong? I don't know. I leave that up to the people, man. Personally, I wouldn't do what Jay Williams did. I wouldn't do it that way. And I think Kevin Durant is too sensitive. So you don't got to respond to every goddamn thing people say about you. Imagine if LeBron did that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now at his age he's been responding to a lot of more.
Yeah, man. Like this dude responds to fans. Who does that? Man, if I'm making $1 million doing what I do, KD talk about me all day. I wouldn't give a damn.
Hey, KD off the court is just a jag, man. Just another guy.
By the way, Brooklyn Nets, they might be a lock to win the championship. I'm just saying, they look unstoppable. James Harden
comes back. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they look awesome. I know the Bucks beat them in Game 3 of that series, but and I said the Bucks probably wouldn't get a game off of them, but they did. But it was an odd game. But KD, man, I mean, greatest offensive force I've ever seen. Him and Kyrie, there's something very, very special. By the way, this isn't a part of the show sheet, but big shout out to the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, man. Like, that's a fun team to watch. They look like a college team.
Also, you want to give a big shout out to James Jones. And why James Jones?
James Jones, former Miami Heat player. Done a terrific job, probably NBA Executive of the Year. They've got something special going on in the Valley, and but whoever comes out of the West will get slayed by Brooklyn. Like, I think an interesting argument would be the Brooklyn Big Three against the Miami Heat Big Three. Like, I've never seen anything offensively as powerful as the Brooklyn Nets. Like, if they ever have a game where the three of those guys are going, good Lord.
Well, we sort of had that today, like when KD only had 7 points in the first half, and then exploded with 23 in the second half, and Kyrie was carrying them in the first half, in the second quarter. We do see that, but they all can get bad, like in the same time for the extended period.
Right.
Plus, honestly, if you put them all together and put them in a bag and then shuffle it, like, LeBron is LeBron. LeBron is top 3 player, greatest player of all time. He's a top 3 2-guard of all time. And Chris Bosh is maybe one of the most underrated skilled bigs to ever play the game.
Yep. Those guys are special indeed. Finally, man, we're going to talk about Simone Biles, the greatest athlete in the world today, according to Jamel Hill. Is it Simone Biles or Biles? Yeah, Biles. Simone Biles.
I spelled it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong right there. But anyway, she's won a record 7th United States Gymnastics Championship. She's got a jaw-dropping streak. She's won every all-around competition she's entered since 2013. She's 24 now. She hasn't lost in 8 years. That's unbelievable. She's getting ready to go to the Tokyo Olympics and will be looking to win back-to-back gold medals in all-around competition. That hasn't been done in about 50 years. I ask you, Randy Savage, Jamel Hill, if you follow Jamel wrote an article on her. Does America appreciate the greatness of Simone Biles enough? What is she for a white girl? Like, and she's got tons of followers.
Like, she's great. I love Simone Biles. She hasn't lost since 2013.
Right.
She's about to age out of it, pretty much, out of the gymnastics game. But the thing is, she's in a sport that very few people are experts in talking about. I can't be like, the way she killed that double heel axel, it was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when she talks.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I know it like NBA or NCAA or whatever. Let's take a look at Simone Biles in action, man, as she's wrapping up another championship.
Big dismount, 2 flips, 2 twists, 1 piece of air.
There you go. 7-time national champion.
History books again.
These championships have seen so many legends over the years, so many icons of the sport, but with 7 titles now to her name, it's pretty safe to say that nobody has ever shined brighter.
I mean, she's great at what she does. I give her credit. I think the media gives her credit. ESPN, I think, neglected to acknowledge her, and they gave a lot of airtime to the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul thing, and Jamel had all up in arms about that.
I mean, look, more people know about Floyd Mayweather in boxing than they do know about gymnastics. It's crazy.
What to do about nothing?
Yeah, it really is. My only question to you is she the greatest living Olympian right now? It's between Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt. I mean,
I think what she's done is remarkable. I don't think she has no peer. Nobody's on her level. She's completely dominated the sport. I think the greatest athlete that I've seen may very well be Serena Williams, but I think Serena is done. I think she's right at the very end of her journey. I would like to think that LeBron James is perhaps the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. And I think LeBron still has something left. Stephen A. Smith came out recently and said LeBron's window has closed. I disagree. I think
he has 3 more top level years left in a
yeah,
run.
I think he can still win another championship or 2, depending on what the Lakers surround him with. But Simone Biles, to her credit, is dominant. And I mean, I don't know what more else to say about it. I don't think I think if she were white, she would have been bigger.
Yeah, but we're seeing a lot of great white.
You can say that about people used to say that about Larry Bird back in the 80s, but I don't know, man. I hate touching the race thing sometimes, but I hope we get it.
We've seen the great white gymnast too, but we've seen the great white ice skater too.
Right.
But like I said, the way that those sports are, right? Nobody's talking about that on a regular.
Right.
Yeah,
like somebody watching the show right now might have just tuned out.
Exactly. Like
we're talking about gymnastics.
Yeah. Talk about LeBron jamming in somebody's face or something like that. Floyd Mayweather knocking dude out. That type of thing.
Yeah, but it was a great read by Jamel Hill, and shout out to Simone Biles, man. You are the GOAT at what you do. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for us real quick, man. Like I said, it was an abbreviated version of the Jeff Fox Show. One more thing I want to add, Randy Savage. Have you been watching The Chi?
I do not watch The Chi. I heard it sucks this year.
Sucks.
Everybody knows how much I do not like Lena Waithe.
Sucks. It sucks.
I'm sorry, Lena Waithe. If I ever get to work with you in the future and this prevents me from ever working with you, I'm sorry. I do not like any of her stuff.
Yeah.
Any other stuff. Like, it comes to that Master Nun season 3 season. I didn't like that season. Whatever she's done with Clean and Slim, I didn't like. Like, I just do not like her work.
I feel you, dog. Like, I mean, I love the Chi TV show in the first couple of years, but this year they're all over the place. Like, I mean, fire all of your writers. Whoever they are,
let me give you something that's going to be good. This Sunday on Stars, you got Blind Spotting coming out, and that's going to be amazing. If you haven't seen the movie Blind Spotting, with the V Diggs, Rafael Casal, and they're like in Oakland.
Right.
Well, this is the television show version of it, and it's based on the women, and it looks amazing.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out, man. Definitely will check it out. All right, shout out to Gigi Fontaine, Uncle Luke, Luther Campbell, very good friend. Shout out to you, Randy Savage, as well. Everybody at the Round Table Sports Bar. We'll come on out and hang out with Jeff Fox. I'll be there on Wednesday nights, Friday, Saturday, and Old School Sunday. And we will do this again, my friend. Another pop-up broadcast of the Jeff Fox Show. All right, appreciate you, Randy Savage.
Appreciate you, boss, man. Love doing these.
All right, man. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Yeah, what's happening? It's the big boss, Ricky Ross. And right now I got to salute my brother, none other than Jeff Fox. Ricky Ross, MIAO, we paying homage to a real nigga, DJ Jeff Fox, forever.